Want to speak real Afrikaans from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at afrikaanspod101.com.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello. It's pretty straightforward. It's a greeting. It's what you say to everyone. It sounds the same as most languages, so it's an easy one to remember.
Goeiemôre. Goeiemôre. Good morning.
Goeiemôre. Good morning. So this one's a little bit hard because it's got the ch sound, but in the morning we're all feeling ugh anyway, so it's a great time to use this. Practice it next time you wake up in the morning and say hello to whoever you see the first thing in the morning and just say goeiemôre.
Goeiemiddag. Goeiemiddag. Good afternoon.
Goeiemiddag. Good afternoon. So it's very similar to goeiemôre. This time you're changing the second word to middag, adding an extra in there because now by middag time the day's hard and all you want is some lunch. So you're adding mochs in there and just saying goeiemiddag as if it's angry, but try to say it with a smile and then it's even nicer. Goeiemiddag.
Goeienacht. Goeienacht. Good night.
Goeienacht. Good night. So that's what you say before you go to bed, obviously. And by now, you're thinking of the dreams that you might have tonight or the comfy warm bed that you're going to in a cold winter's day. Not like today, obviously, but it's something that everyone wants to hear. It's nice to say it to the people around you before going to bed, like end your day on a nice, calm note by telling everyone around you, goeienacht.
Wat is jou naam? Wat is jou naam? What is your name?
Wat is jou naam? What's your name? So this is obviously the one that you want to know when you're going out in a new place, especially in South Africa or anywhere where you know there's Afrikaans people and you want to know who they are, know more about them. So it's always an easy icebreaker. Wat is jou naam? Get to know their name. Try think of a way that you'll remember it by making up little anagrams in your head or whatever. It's what I usually do because I'm very bad at remembering names. But definitely a useful phrase to know.
Ek is Christine. Ek is Christine. I'm Christine.
And then if they ask you that question or if you've just asked that question, the likely response is ek is naam. I am name. So you'd insert your name, obviously. You wouldn't say ek is naam. I would say ek is Christine. I am Christine. So pretty simple response. Wat is jou naam? Ek is, and then say your name. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Aangename kennis. Aangename kennis. Nice to meet you.
Aangename kennis. Aangename kennis. Nice to meet you. So now you've said hello, you've said goeiemôre, goeiemiddag, goeienacht, whatever time of day it is. You've asked them what their name is, you've told them what your name is, so now you're saying it's nice to meet you. Aangename kennis. It's a simple conversation going on here, so it's very important to know all these little phrases.
Hoe gaan dit met jou? Hoe gaan dit met jou? How are you?
Hoe gaan dit met jou? How are you? So now in the conversation, you're at that part where you've realized that they have a cool name, they seem pretty cool, and you want to know a little bit more about them. So you ask them, hoe gaan dit? And then remember to listen, because people always say this and then don't listen to the response or don't really care about the response. Only ask these things if you care, because it's way nicer that way.
Goed, dankie. En met jou? Goed, dankie. En met jou? I'm fine, thanks. And you?
And then the typical response, or hopefully the response because it's positive. Goed, dankie. En met jou? Goed, dankie. En met jou? I'm fine, thanks. And you? So that obviously follows the previous one, answering how you are doing and then asking back to the person, because that's only polite. You don't want to be like, yeah, I'm fine, thanks, bye. You want to be polite, ask them how they're doing back if they asked it first. Otherwise, maybe don't say it if you asked it first, because then it's just like a continuous cycle that's never ending.
Asseblief. Asseblief. Please.
Asseblief. Please. Very popular in South Africa because we're all very polite people here. But please remember, see, I said it there again. Please remember to be polite when you're asking for something or commenting on something that requires a please. No, it'll be a question. So be polite, remember your manners, and say asseblief if you are looking for something.
Dankie. Dankie. Thank you.
Dankie. Thank you. So there we go again with the politeness. Be very kind and warm when someone tells you something or compliments you or gives you an answer to that asseblief question that you just asked. Say thanks, say dankie. And if you can't remember the word, think of a donkey. That's how I always used to tell people. And then just change the sound a little bit, because you can't say donkey, you must say dankie.
Jy is welkom. Jy is welkom. You're welcome.
Jy is welkom. You're welcome. So that's the response. If someone said dankie to you, you're obviously going to say you're welcome. Jy is welkom. Because it wasn't such a schlep for you to tell them what they wanted and you don't mind telling them. So jy is welkom.
Ja. Ja. Yes.
Ja. Yes. Pretty straightforward. Yes. Positive response to something. So pretty easy.
Nee. Nee. No.
Nee. No. Also pretty straightforward, but try not to use it so much because it's going to be a downer on anyone, unless it's something definitely that needs a no for a response. But ja and nee, pretty easygoing, used quite often, so good ones to remember.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. It's very simple because it's the same as the English and most other languages, just like I said, hello. Okay means, yeah, sure, okay, we'll do this, or okay, I'll have that for lunch, or okay, you make the plans. It's used every day in so many different ways, so it's easy to remember, okay.
Verskoon my. Verskoon my. Excuse me.
Verskoon my. Excuse me. This is a part of that politeness again. If you are leaving the table or you're walking away from something because you don't really like the conversation going on, you just politely say, verskoon my, asseblief as well, if you want to be even more nice, even nicer.
Ek is jammer. Ek is jammer. I'm sorry.
Ek is jammer. I'm sorry. So unfortunately this one means you've done something wrong or you've said something that's not so polite. But just be a human being and say sorry if a sorry is needed. And then remember, ek is jammer.
Hoe laat is dit? Hoe laat is dit? What time is it?
Hoe laat is dit? What's the time? This is funny. The translation isn't exactly what's the time, but that's how we say it here in South Africa. You literally say, how late is it? Because you're always late for something, or you're always thinking it's later than it is. So try to remember it that way. We're always late, so that's why we say, hoe laat is dit? Like, how late is it?
Waar is die badkamer? Waar is die badkamer? Where is the restroom?
Waar is die badkamer? Where is the restroom? This one you'll probably use when you're out at the restaurants or at a random friend's house that you've never been to before and you really need a wee. So you're going to be needing this one. So remember, waar is die badkamer?
Vachabiki. Vachabiki. Wait a moment.
Vachabiki. wait a moment. You're a little bit busy in a conversation and someone comes and chirps in and all you want to say is just hold on. So if you ever in these situations and you have friends that like to interrupt you, then maybe you should learn Vachabiki. And you could always add asseblief as well if you don't want to sound too rude and like cut offy. You can say Vachabiki, asseblief.
Hoeveel kost dit? Hoeveel kost dit? How much is this?
Hoeveel kost dit? How much is this? Now you're in the shop. So you've been to the restaurants, you've been to friends' house, you've been everywhere, and now you're in the shops and you're seeing this beautiful new thing that you really want to buy, but you know, you're on holiday, so you can't just be splurging money everywhere. So you're going to have to ask this question quite often. Hoeveel kost dit?
Help. Help. Help.
Help. Help. Luckily, this word, because it has so much going on and it's obviously urgent, is usually the same in most languages, so it's pretty straightforward if you know English. Help, it sounds the same in Afrikaans and is used in the same way.
Sien jou later. Sien jou later. See you later.
Sien jou later. See you later. You finish at the restaurant, you're going home, or at the shops or whatever, and you're saying, ciao, I'm going to see you later. Sien jou later. Obviously one to use all the time, comes alongside a goodbye, so remember, sien jou later. And maybe I'll sien jou later in some of the other videos.
Tot ziens. Tot ziens. Goodbye.
Tot ziens. Goodbye. Directly translated, tot ziens means until I see you again, which is quite nice because you're always assuming that a goodbye isn't a bad bye and you will reconnect again at some point. So tot ziens means until next time, but it actually means goodbye.
Ek weet nie. Ek weet nie. I don't know.
Ek weet nie. I don't know. It's okay to not know. We don't all know everything, so this is a good one to know. If someone asks you a question or asks you directions and you don't know because you're just a tourist here, remember to say, ek weet nie. I use this all the time and it irritates my friends, but I'm honest at least, so ek weet nie.
Hallo, ek is Anne-Marie. Aangename kennis. Hi, I'm Anne-Marie. Nice to meet you. In this series, we're going to learn basic Afrikaans expressions. It's super easy and it only takes 3 minutes. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Afrikaans. We'll start speaking right away, but first it's important to clarify that in Afrikaans, there are different greetings depending on the situation. Let's first see how Afrikaners introduce themselves in a casual situation. Hallo, ek is Anne-Marie. Aangename kennis. Hi, I'm Anne-Marie. Nice to meet you. Hallo, ek is Anne-Marie. Aangename kennis. Start by saying, hallo, ek is, then say your name. For example, hallo, ek is Anne-Marie. Finally, say aangename kennis. Again, all together, it is, hallo, ek is Anne-Marie. Aangename kennis. Now, let's see that same sentence in a more formal context. Goeiedag, ek is Anne-Marie Luck. Aangename kennis. Good day, I am Anne-Marie Luck. Pleasure to meet you. Goeiedag, ek is Anne-Marie Luck. Aangename kennis. Let's try that again. G. Try pronouncing it from the back of your throat. Goeiedag, goeiedag, ek is Anne-Marie Luck. Aangename kennis. So, what has actually changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a closer look at these expressions together. Hallo has been substituted with the formal greeting goeiedag, which is Afrikaans for good day. Ek is Anne-Marie has not been changed. Ek is simply means I am. However, during a formal self-introduction, we also say our last name. So I said Anne-Marie Luck. Here, you would say your full name. One more time. The informal way to introduce yourself in Afrikaans is Hallo, ek is Anne-Marie. Aangename kennis. The more formal way to introduce yourself is Goeiedag, ek is Anne-Marie Luck. Aangename kennis. Now it's time for Anne-Marie's tips. When you introduce yourself, it's a good habit to shake hands, usually with a short but firm handshake. If you're not sure whether to use hallo or goeiedag, just say hallo, as this expression can be used in all introductions. If you use the correct sentence with a friendly smile and a good handshake, Afrikaners will definitely be impressed. In the last lesson, you learned how to thank people by saying dankie. In this lesson, you'll learn some of the most common greetings used when speaking Afrikaans. Is jy reg? Are you ready? Let's start. The most commonly used informal greeting is hallo. Hallo. Hallo means hi or hello. We can use this greeting with friends or relatives. Hallo. The most used formal greetings changes depending on the time of day. Let's see what they are. First we have goeiedag. Literally, goeiedag means good day. Goeiedag. As a rule of thumb, we can use goeiedag only during the daytime from late morning until early evening. Next is the greeting we say only for the morning. Goeiemôre. Goeiemôre. For the afternoon, we say goeiemiddag. Goeiemiddag. During the evening, we say goeienaand. Goeienaand. Goed is Afrikaans for good. Môre, middag, and naand means morning, afternoon, and evening, respectively. Easy, right? Now, what should you say when you leave? Afrikaners usually say tot ziens when leaving in a formal situation. Tot ziens. Tot ziens means goodbye. When we say goodbye to friends or relatives, we use the informal lekker dag. Lekker dag. You can also say bye. Bye. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Afrikaans. Let's review them all again. First, the greetings. Informally, we simply say hallo. If you want to be a bit more formal, you can use goeiedag during the daytime, goeiemôre in the morning, goeiemiddag in the afternoon, and goeienaand in the evening. When leaving in a formal situation, we say tot ziens. And in an informal situation, it's lekker dag or bye. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Anne-Marie's tips. In informal situations, Afrikaners, especially good friends, commonly greet each other by giving each other a quick hug. If you're unsure, you can just stick out your hand and give a firm handshake and a smile. A smile goes a long way. During the next lesson, we'll learn the meaning of the phrase Prajae engels. Do you already know it? I'll tell you all about it in our next Afrikaans in 3 minute lesson. Lekker dag! In the previous lesson, you learned the most common forms of greetings in Afrikaans. Do you remember them? In this lesson, you're going to learn a very useful phrase, do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you're asking it in Afrikaans, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you're saying, even if their answer is no. Here's the informal way to say it. Praat jy Engels? Praat jy Engels? Here, praat is the verb to speak, jy is the informal way of saying you, and as you might have recognized, Engels means English. Praat jy Engels? Do you speak English? Now let's make this sentence formal, as you'd probably be asking a stranger this question. It's very easy though, so don't worry. You only need to use the formal version of you, which is u. So, praat jy Engels becomes praat u Engels. Praat u Engels? Adding skus toch, meaning excuse me, to the beginning makes the sentence even more polite. Skus toch, praat u Engels? Skus toch, praat u Engels? Can you say it? Skus toch. Make the g sound using the back of your throat. G. Skus toch. Skus toch. Praat u Engels? Now, the responses you will receive could be one of these three. Ja, yes. Ja. A bietjie, a little. A bietjie. Nee, ek praat nie Engels nie. No, I don't speak English. Nee, ek praat nie Engels nie. Because this last response is a negative statement, you can find the word nie used twice as Afrikaans uses a double negative pattern when saying negative sentences. Ek praat nie Engels nie. Now it's time for Anne-Marie's tips. For those of you who are not only English speakers, you can use this question with any language you need. South African people study other languages at school, so maybe you'll get lucky. Just substitute Engels with Italiaans for Italian, Duits for German, Spaans for Spanish, Franse for French, and so on. In this lesson, we mentioned the expression skus tog. In the next lesson, you will learn more about this word and other ways to get someone's attention and apologize in Afrikaans. I'll see you in the next Afrikaans in 3 minute lesson. Lekker dag! In the last lesson, we learned some phrases used when apologizing in Afrikaans, including ek is jammer and sorry. In this lesson, we are going to learn numbers in Afrikaans. Yes, numbers, nommers. And you are going to learn them in only 3 minutes. 3 minute. Are you ready? Let's start. Een, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now repeat after me. I'll say the numbers and give you time to repeat each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job! What is before een, do you know? The Afrikaans word for 0 is nul. Null. Now you don't have any more excuses. You can give your friends your cell phone number in Afrikaans. Let's try it together. We'll use the phrase my nommer is, which means my number is. My nommer is. My nommer is 0892135874. Can you read it by yourself? 0892135874. Perfect. Now it's time for Anne-Marie's tips. When we travel in South Africa, we sometimes have to read our ticket number to the travel agent. Learn your numbers well so you can impress them. This will also help if you need to listen to numbers being announced, like in the airport. In the last lesson, you learned how to count in Afrikaans. I hope you spent some time practicing the numbers because they will come in handy for this lesson. We're going to learn how to go shopping using Afrikaans in South Africa. Before we go, you need to know how to say how much is it? Hoeveel kost dit? Hoeveel kost dit? Okay, are you ready to go shopping in South Africa? Let's go. Let's say you see something you like and want to ask the shopkeeper how much it costs. The first thing you say is skus tog. Do you remember what that means? It's excuse me. Skus tog. Hoeveel kost dit? Excuse me, how much is it? Skus tog. Hoeveel kost dit? At this point, the shop clerk can answer by saying dit kos. This means it costs. For example, dit kos R55. What number is 55? It's 55. So this means it costs 55 rand. Or he could say, dit kos R74. It costs 74 rand. Instead of saying it, dit, you can be more specific by saying this, hierdie, or that, daardie. So you can say, hoeveel kos hierdie item, meaning how much is this item? Hoeveel kos hierdie item. Hoeveel kost daardie item? Meaning, how much is that item? Hoeveel kost daardie item? Item has the same meaning as item in English. Now it's time for Anne-Marie's tips. If you're looking for a place where you can enjoy shopping and sightseeing, I recommend you visit Cape Town and the Cape Peninsula. While Cape Town has many different attractions and shopping centres to offer the millions of visitors who come each year, you can also enjoy the views from Table Mountain and see the wildlife and natural beauty of the Cape Peninsula.
Great work! Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the link in the description.